And welcome to MULLEN stock. If you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications by hitting the bell so you never miss any of our uploads. And also remember that this is not a financial advice video. So MULLEN closed with a 19.3% profit today. There was quite a bit of volume, with 171.3 million shares trading, averaging 75. Interestingly, only about 69.87% of the daily volume was redirected from the exchange today, whereas it had been closer to 80% in the past few days. So today was quite different in several ways, but overall I think it's been a good week. It has seen almost a 60% increase since last week. I remember seeing something like this happen only once before, if I recall correctly, back in December 2022, with consecutive green days. However, after hours it seems to be dipping slightly. But typically, when a stock rises this quickly, it tends to consolidate its gains, and there are a lot of factors at play. Strangely, there wasn't any significant news today. There were no SEC filings or anything of that sort. However, David did tweet something around 2:53 p.m., just minutes before the market close, and it seemed to have caused a little pop. It seems to me that investors really want to hear from David. They want to hear some operational updates, maybe about the EPA, about deliveries, and especially from David himself, rather than from a third-party source, or just randomly on Twitter. David mentioned something about $3.5 million in cash, and how much Nikola has paid. It appears to be around $144 million, which is a good deal. This is something I've mentioned before, that David, though not from the automotive industry, is quite adept at striking deals, whether it's for the Mishawaka facility or something like this. So this is a positive sign. Technically speaking, I believe MULLEN might be in a rapid transition phase. If you notice, you can only find a few N3s in the lot here, and there seems to be a significant quantity missing. So I don't know, it might be premature to say this, but it seems like deliveries may have started, meaning they might have received the EPA certificate. They just haven't told us yet. You could be close to it, maybe next week. Brad mentioned in the last chat that it could happen any day, and they even said it might be sooner, so it's coming. Now, one more thing I'd like to share, though it's unrelated to MULLEN. It caught my attention and was quite amusing. It's about JP Morgan's gold trader, Christopher Jordan, who received a 6-month sentence for spoofing trades and market manipulation. When it comes to spoofing, some people might not take it seriously, considering it just a made-up term. But especially in connection with MULLEN, it's worth noting that JP Morgan got only a 6-month sentence for, which ultimately means nothing. It's hard to gauge the extent of damage that spoofing can do, but a 6-month sentence ultimately amounts to nothing. So I believe this might be something that could potentially reach MULLEN, because if you look at the market orders in the morning, you might see some strange orders a cent or two above the market price, which could be a way to scare or push the price down. These are some interesting observations. I just wanted to share them with you. Now let's talk about some options. As I mentioned, it's been a 180-degree turn, and the scenario looks quite different. 560,000 calls were bought compared to 141 puts. So it's clear that people believe the stock price will go up in the coming weeks. And those options that expired yesterday, MULLEN closed above the 50-cent strike price, which means these options are in the money. Market makers, if they haven't already, will need to cover their positions, and there were about 21,000 open interests, so that's a positive sign. If MULLEN stays around 50 cents in the next week, there's still around 4,000 open interests for closing. I believe that if MULLEN stays in this range, more people will be interested in buying calls. These are just sentiment options, and they don't move the stock price. Now let's talk about shorts and what they did today. As you can see, the short score is at 79 now, with a utilization of 98.7%. Shorts added 23.39 million shares today, which is about 14.84% of the free float, and a total of 25.84 million shares have been shorted. The cost of borrow has slightly increased, now averaging 32.96. Interactive Brokers short availability shows 300,000 shares available throughout the day if anyone wants to short. So what are your thoughts? Do you think a squeeze is coming or not? Do you believe they've started deliveries? What are your thoughts on MULLEN? I'd also given you some insights into shorts and options. Guys, that's all we have for you today. What is your opinion about MULLEN stock? Get involved and let us know in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.